What happened to the lonely guy of your high school class? Well, I just Googled him and he's a Georgetown law professor. The person I always thought of as possibly lonely retained the same couple of friends for the past 13 years, and they still seem to enjoy getting together and doing the things they did back then. Video games, anime, etc. One of the most happy-go-lucky, friendly, and popular guys I knew took his own life a couple of years back. Of course I know him, he's me. I don't really know what happened to anyone from high school, and I'm okay with that. Learned that he killed himself 2 years ago. Apparently because he was accused of bad stuff and didn't want to go to jail. I was also pretty lonely most of my scholarship. But in high school I had the luck of finding a small group of friends that adopted me. Committed suicide a few years after graduating. Didn't know it for over a decade until I came across a Facebook page for my high school class. He was listed as one of the people that had passed away. He is sitting in a data science conference reading Reddit. I am sitting in a data science conference reading Reddit. Haven't heard from him in 8 years. I know he made a couple attempts on his own life before. I just hope he's doing okay now. He made a Reddit account and now wasting his best years on the site. He ended up graduating top of the class. Got a full ride scholarship to Cornell, got his master's, makes 7 figures a year and is happily married. With 2 kids. I was one of his few friends in high school and dude is doing amazing in all aspect of his life. He was my friend, he didn't make it. He joined a cult and completely cut ties with his family. There was an article written about said cult recently and his name pops up quite a bit. So he must have some kind of position of authority in it. Ours was a lonely girl. And we have been trying to track her down actually. Last we heard she was homeless and a drug addict. I really hope she's doing better because she was a sweet girl. Just very shy. Still lonely. However, he worked his way up within a KFC franchise through high school and bought his first house early on, even though he didn't do well at school. Then worked in the army for 10 years and bought property 2 and 3. Now works as a director on a cruise liner and goes country to country by himself. No partners or girlfriends ever, but financially well off. Just Googled him. Apparently he finally got a girlfriend in college. Got her pregnant. Then suicided them. Jesus. I wish I hadn't checked. Shot himself in the head after his attempt to wrap around a tree didn't work. He's now being taken care of by his 78-year-old mother. I lost touch. Can't be a one-way street forever. He married a pretty artist from Syracuse and also typed this sentence. Got cancer very suddenly and died. Went to his funeral. He was just 16, the youngest in our class. Truly a tragedy. He became an actually model for high-class perfumes and brands and not one those Instagram TikTok models. I'm doing okay. For someone who has lost sight in one eye. Fought off incurable cancer. Permanent nerve damage in back, hips, and legs. Slip disc in back and fractured pelvis. But yeah, I'm good. I got a degree, got married, started a career. Not much different from others, just started later. It's me. I'm the lonely guy. I became an agoraphobic shut-in after a short stint in higher education. He hanged himself shortly after HS and photos of him were spread around, some saying how he was so nice and stuff, and they didn't expect this when they were people who bullied him and otherwhere. Just making memes of him, example smoking that a non-pack. Got all incel about a girl who was dating a guy he didn't like. Stole a rifle from a neighbor and shot him dead. And wounded a few others. He was immediately caught and sent to prison. Just got out a year ago or so after 18 years or so. Dropped off the map. Hope he's doing good though. Still alone. But I'm not as lonely. Video games and weed and a job make for a cozy, comfortable life, and that's better than being lonely and in a shitty situation growing up. I'm still young. I'll find someone eventually, not getting too fussed about it and not really looking RN either. Married with 4 kids. Good career. Just took him a little longer than some to come out of his shell. It was me. If the lonely guy is known, then he is not the loneliest guy. But most are fine. High school is not a great time for many. Didn't like to be around people much. So he spent a lot of time riding his motorcycle alone, which he said he found therapeutic. Died at 20 in a motorcycle accident. Moved his disgusting sexual remarks online. He kept messaging all of the women from our graduating class, myself included, until I blocked him, and made lewd comments just like he did when we were 15. And we're now in our 30s. Proof that some people just never grow up. He unfortunately went on to become the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooter. I'll never be able to unsee that kid's face despite how much I want to. He grew several inches after high school, went into tech, was very successful, and now has a supermodel wife and a beautiful family. Another guy became a pediatric surgeon, was married and had a daughter. Over the years his wife disappeared from his Facebook post and it was just him and his daughter. In a few years ago he married a supermodel Eastern European nurse. And the third guy climbed into a bottle and never got out. That guy was me. And I am less alone and doing great now. Thumbs up, thumbs up. I graduated from college, got married, have a career in IT, and am currently saving up for my dream car. Now I am the lonely guy in the college class. He became an entrepreneur of a really successful company. Employed the 3 jokers who used to bully the heck out of him. They still don't know who he is. He is my husband. That was me. I always sat at my own table with the occasional foreign exchange student. I got out of school and worked really hard. I just turned 48 and I still haven't peaked. I have a large portfolio of real estate and do a lot of traveling. I wanted something more for myself, but I didn't really have that confidence until after school. I now live an incredible life. There is hope for us losers who aren't afraid of a little work. I joined the Navy at 17. Married at 55. In high school I could go weeks without a word spoken to me. Fuck my early life all to hell. Committed suicide while still in HS. He was lewd, obnoxious to get attention, and incredibly disrespectful to girls. Would go up behind girls and pretend to hump them, etc. I think he would have been a future rapist. This comment section is not giving me hope. LMFAO. Suicide. That was me. Got my master's and work for a large bank as an analyst. Still single though. We're all here, dude. Bro, go trip on psychedelics and thank me later. I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Drove his car into the middle of the Mississippi Delta and blew his brains out. Deeply troubled, deeply closeted, and repressed by his Southern Baptist family. I walked out of his memorial service when his family tried to use his death as an altar call for Christianity. By the standards of their religion, he would be burning in hell as a sinner. And certainly not looking down on us with the angels. One that I was friends with became a miserable incel. The other became super successful in IT and lives his best life. I have no idea. He was my friend and I've been looking for him for years because I'm worried. Busted for CP. ITT at me.